Hello, and welcome to Ascension Messages, where we sit in conversation with benevolent beings who come with their advice and counsel for our highest good at this time. My name is Samara, and this is episode 9. These messages are timeless, so whenever you come to them, there is perhaps something of relevance here for you. Today, we will sit in conversation with the Lyrans. And I had a sleepless night last night. Well, if you consider going to sleep at 3 a.m., sleepless night. Because this conversation just became very relevant. Yes, I've been being called to this topic for some time now. And yes, so today is today. Today is the day. And I'm just going to jump right in to the message that I channeled last night, this morning. That's the introduction to this topic before we jump into conversation. For those of you that are returning, welcome. Welcome back. And for those of you that's your first time, welcome. You will hear me in any one of 3 states before I read this message here. You will hear me in any one of 3 states during the course of this 25 to 30 minutes. There's my personality self, which you are talking to right now or listening to right now. My higher self may be speaking, or I may go into a full channeled state where the consciousness that we are in communication with will speak through me, and I will be resting somewhere aside so that they can use me as their vehicle. So, to the message that they gave me last night for this introduction. It has been said quite often that the external world mirrors the internal world. And part of why that frustrates humans so is that they would rather ignore the feelings inside them that make them uncomfortable. It is much easier to have someone else to blame. Of course, those uncomfortable feelings may have arisen out of, or rather been born of, different interpersonal experiences. That is, someone may have caused the initial pain or suffering. That one carries it within them long after the stimuli is removed. That, unfortunately for our dear humans, is caused by no one but oneself. And so we come to this juncture where love for oneself must outweigh the fear of the discomfort. An eternal love or a temporary discomfort? Which one will you allow to dominate? At the end, the love has much more promise. However, we find humanity has become jaded, perhaps because the term love has been used so flippantly and meaninglessly that it holds little weight in your collective psyche. Perhaps because for many of you, conditional love has overshadowed unconditional love. We digress though. Mirrors and triggers is our chosen topic, as in this pivotal time, one's ability to engage in one's own healing, to face shadows and fears, is critical to your success as a collective. And as such, we wish to provide guidance on how one can begin to engage in such a process of healing oneself through recognizing the reflections from others, and thereby also breaking down the illusion of separation. So that is our introduction into the topic of mirrors and triggers, I do have a few decks that will guide the conversation, just grounds it into physical reality for me. So I will start by shuffling the first deck and seeing where the conversation will go. I shuffled a deck, but they want a different deck first. So I won't even flip over that card just yet. All right. Take a second card from this deck. So the first card we have is Earth Star Anchor Activation, anchoring grounded action, Isis energy. And the second card, Venusian Galactic Council, Star Being Guides, Answer the Call, Time to Shine. And at the bottom of the deck, Order of Melchizedek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. Sorry about that. Embraced by Light, Mission Uncovered. Don't give up. Okay, they want it not at the bottom of the deck, but three of them together. Oh, okay. So we begin with Earth Star activation. There's a saying that things are not happening to me, rather they are happening for me. And this is a saying that one should attempt to embody more fully and accept more fully. There is a tendency to disempower amongst the human collective. Whether or not emotions, uncomfortable emotions, pains, sorrows, grief has been caused by external circumstances. We use the term seemingly external circumstances. We want you to understand that the work that you do in healing yourself, in integrating this energy and alchemizing this energy, connects you more deeply to your life purpose, to your soul, to your authentic self. You are working towards anchoring yourself more deeply into your blueprint, your original state, your state that is fully aware of its connection to the divine. It is a time that we are called to shine. It is an evolving process. That's what I'm getting from the Venusian Galactic Council. Venus is very deeply about love and coming back to our love state. And as was mentioned in the initial channeled message, there's been a diluting of what love the word love means. And they kept showing me the McDonald's "I'm loving it" slogan, how the word love is used so casually that it has begun to lose impact as to what it truly means, what and how many of us know what it truly feels like anymore, as our ideas of what love is heavily affected by the impressions of romantic love that we see through music and television. The stronger the call is to express your light, to shine your light, the more intense the mirrors and triggers will be around you. It seems a paradox that one would be put through more pain in order to become more love and more light. This is, however, the case. It's like washing a dirty mirror. You must use some elbow grease, as you humans put it. It must be washed away. It must be chipped away. It must be polished away. The human collective, and we are your relatives, we do very much understand what you are going through. You also have the analogy of a diamond does not become a diamond without pressure. And how can a diamond shine if it is irritated by every rub? And this, we would like to highlight to you that the human collective is inspired to change when they are discontent. When you are sitting in moments of contentment, you do not tend to be inspired to evolve. Your evolution often comes from upheaval. That is the stage of learning that you are in. And so, the more that you can embrace, recognize, and accept that the irritations, annoyances, the reappearance of old wounds coming to the surface, the difficult interpersonal relationships, the challenging situations in your life, they are there to bring you closer to yourself, the true authentic expression of yourself, and the true authentic expression of the divine through you. Many of you are being steered in new directions through the upheaval, chaos, and discomforts in your life. This is because you have not necessarily willingly chose to take a different direction, even though you may know in your heart of hearts that you are not where your soul wants to be. And in that case, the universe becomes a little bit more stern with you, making it near impossible for you to stay in this comfortable prison that you've created for yourself. We're at the last card of the three here that I've pulled so far, Order of Melchizedek. I need to look up how to pronounce that. Embraced by light, mission uncovered, don't give up. And this, I feel, is yeah, it wraps up, summarizes what was just said, really, in that we're getting closer to why we are here, I feel, and embracing the discomfort and doing the shadow work. If you're not familiar with the term shadow work, I do recommend you do some Googling, or there may be something online on YouTube or such that explains what shadow work is. My short summary is, it's all of the things, feelings that we tuck away, that we feel are ugly about ourselves or that are just difficult for us to deal with. And this, some of it comes from a defense mechanism, because when we were growing up, there was nothing, we didn't necessarily have the tools to deal and to process said emotions. And some of them also come from later in life, because the emotional experiences were so intense that we didn't know what to do with them other than, tuck them away for later and get on with life. There's those aspects of the shadow, and then there's just the aspects that we believe to be ugly or unacceptable to others because we've been told through societal conditioning or through some of the people that we have loved and trusted the most. So I'm going to flip over the card that came out. Okay, so from this the second oracle deck here, we have card number 7, Celestial Teacher, and very appropriate for the topic of mirrors and triggers. The Celestial Teacher is none other than yourself. Your guides, angels, ancestors, your galactic family. Yes, they may and will, especially if you ask, come in to guide you. But you are your teacher. Your soul's vibration, your subconscious is putting out into the cosmos, into your environment, the call for what it needs in order to recognize what needs to be learned, healed, and integrated. The lessons are appropriate for your evolution, for each one of you, and for the greater evolution of humankind. There are some lessons that you may not see the big picture. This is where trust in yourself and in the divine, God, source, spirit, however you term that force, that consciousness, that all-knowingness. It is within you and is constantly guiding you, whether or not you are consciously tuned in. And this is why we come to you today, to encourage you to become consciously tuned in as an empowered being of light, as an empowered human, living your human experience. This is not about numbing yourself to your emotions, saying this is for the highest good. And this is part of a plan I don't understand. Your emotions are very much an essential part of your ascension and of the human experience overall. Your emotions create so many beautiful things, so many of the things that you relish in as humans. Your art and creativity, your songs, your poetry, your stories, even the clothes you wear, the colors, paintings. Emotion is essential and inseparable from the human experience. You have signed up for a world of polarity, meaning that the contrast, the experiencing of separation, negative emotions, we'll say quote unquote negative emotions, those emotions that make you feel uncomfortable, agitated, unlike yourself, or in a state where you do not like yourself, brings you closer, paradoxically, to loving yourself, to experiencing joy, to recognizing the divine in everything. Life is your teacher. What lessons will you learn? Just shuffling some tarot. We have the Strength card, which I knew was going to come out because the Strength card has a lion on it, and we're talking to the Lyrans. We're lion beings, if you did not know. Lion, humanoid. Yes. So we have the Strength card, and then we have the World card in reverse, and we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So what would you like to tell us with the Strength card? Okay, they're letting me speak now. So the Strength card here is, it's twofold. We have Taming the Beast on one hand, and we have the courage that a lion exhibits. Leo energy is very important at this time. I've been hearing it come up a lot, actually, more considering that when I'm recording this, it's Pisces season. It's quite interesting that Leo energy is so important at the moment, but that courage to step into our power, that courage to also tame the beast that is, in this instance, fear. They're showing me the like a shadow puppet, where it's just a hand, but it can look like a big shadow. Looks huge, big and scary, but the reality of it, it's just an illusion. There's a need for us to understand that the separation is an illusion. And that we somehow will not, the idea, the belief that we somehow will not overcome, conquer, or work our way through to the other side of a difficult emotion is also an illusion. It's an inevitability that you will make it, that we will make it to the other side. It's written. It's How can it not be so when that is what we are here to do? The World in reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I feel that many of us are wanting to rush into waiting for the next phase to begin. When will this be over? When will this phase be over? This waiting period, this time of, straddling timelines, straddling worlds, straddling states of being. When will it be over? And there is this, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse is giving the energy of, it's over when you stop resisting that the physical manifestation of your next chapter requires the acceptance, radical acceptance of the emotional state that we are currently in, and the collective emotional state that we are currently in. This radical acceptance of, and the radical acceptance of, as much as we do not like anyone telling us that these mirrors and triggers exist for us, for our benefit, even that frustration, that anger, believe me, there's anger, even that is an emotion that we have to embrace. No one is asking for you or us to put those emotions aside and say, no, I don't feel, they want me to say pissed off. No, I don't feel pissed off. No, I don't feel agitated, annoyed, and even resentful. It's okay to be angry at the process of expansion. Angry at the divine. The divine will forgive you for being angry. It's not prohibited to be angry. The anger and the frustration of pushing past barriers, of pushing past beliefs that have kept us, they have not only kept us limited or caged, they've also kept us safe and comfortable. Remember, they have been also built to protect us from predators, from people who seek to undermine our ideas or understanding of ourselves. Accept that we have built them for our own safety, but also accept now that it is safe to dismantle them and re-establish boundaries, re-establish healthy boundaries that make room for a new idea of ourselves, a new definition of ourselves. That is in our hands and our hands alone. To make room for our own expansion. And that is, I think, where we're going to leave it. I don't know how much, there may be a part 2. We didn't get deep into the particularities of mirrors and triggers, but more into the why they exist for us, which is also a lovely conversation to have. So I thank my guides, angels and the ancestors, and of course the Lyrans, all of the benevolent beings and consciousness that have surrounded me at this time in order to record this for you and our benefit. So I wish you all the best on your journey. Until next time, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.